In this lecture, we will cover package management using RPM. RPM stands for Red Hat Package Manager. Package management standard that was invented by Red Hat, and nowadays it is used by important distributions like Red Hat, CentOS, Fedora, and SUSE Linux. RPM is based on packages that have the extension .rpm. For example, VSFTPD, which stands for Very Secure FTP Daemon. If you see the example, this is how an example of an RPM looks like. Name, version, subversion, distribution, and architecture. I've color-coded it so you can see which one is which. The names of these packages typically include name, which is in red, version and subversion, which is in green, distribution in blue, and the architecture in brown. So that's the type of information you can expect when you get an RPM. You'll see x86 64-bit, which is the 64-bit architecture in most cases. Older platforms such as i386 are becoming scarce nowadays. If an RPM package hasn't been written with a specific platform in mind, you'll see no arch as the platform identifier. The example is listed below. You see it right at the end. It says noarch.rpm. That means no architecture. So it can be pretty much installed on all platforms in most cases. RPM is designed to simplify the installation, querying, and removing software in Linux environment. It allows ease of updating existing packages and verification of packages. It is good for querying your system and installing simple packages only. It does not care about dependencies. So if your software that you're trying to install has some dependencies, it will not install those, which is why you shouldn't use it to install most software packages. This means that you may need to install all dependencies yourself. On the other hand, you can use yum, which is for Red Hat, CentOS, and Fedora, and zypper, commonly used by SUSE Linux, to install software, which is better as these tools will install dependencies as well. So whatever your software needs when you're installing it, it will install the additional software automatically by using these tools. On the other hand, RPM does not install the dependencies. So you have to pick and choose what you need to run RPM Package Manager for. Now we have some examples that we will cover through the terminal as well. So you can use RPM to check all installed packages. You can also check particular installed packages. You can also install an RPM package. We will also cover that through the terminal. You can upgrade a package, you can also remove a package, and you can verify all or one RPM package, which you can also do by the first example. And next, we will look at how to get information about an RPM package. We will find the location where files were copied. We will also determine which RPM a file came from. You can also install an RPM from a particular website. So let's start with the terminal and look at these examples and see how we can get these done. So let's start with the first example. To check all installed packages, you can run rpm-qa. So rpm is the command and -qa is the options that we're using. So q is for query, a is for all. Self-explanatory. So if I hit enter, it will show us everything that is installed, all the packages installed. It will show all of those by running this command. We can also, let me clear the screen. We can also use grep with it. So we can grep for a particular package. For example, if I wanted to just find information about the NTP, if it's installed, I can just run this command and it will tell us. Anything related to NTP will show up by running this command, and then you can see what's installed, what's the version. So whatever you want to check on what's installed about a specific package, you can run this command. Next, we will install an RPM package. So let me do ls. As you can see, I have a package right here. And again, it always ends with .rpm. So it's also highlighted in red. So we know this is an RPM package. So to install the package, we can run the command rpm -ivh and then the package name. So ivh stands for install, verbose, and h is for hash. So basically, once it's installing it, it will show us on the screen while the process is happening. So if I hit enter, as you can see, it's showing us what it's doing. It's updating, it's installing, and once it's done, it'll just come back to the prompt. So it's installed. So let's check if it's installed. Let's run the command we already learned, rpm-qa, and grep for the package, vsftpd. Hit enter. As you can see, the package is showing up and the package has been installed. Now let's move on to upgrade a package. So for example, if we wanted to upgrade a package, we could run rpm -uvh. So instead of I, that is for install, we can type in U to upgrade. You can also use U to install a package as well. So let's try to do the same thing with the same package that we have. And it's saying the package is already installed. If we did have an upgrade to this software, it will install that. If you want an upgrade, you would need to find the upgrade for that package first before you can install it. But that's how you will get it done. Now let's move on to the next example. To remove a package. So to remove a package, you can run rpm -e. E is to erase. And then let's erase the package we just installed, vsftpd. Hit enter. And if you get no message, that means it's installed. It will not give you any type of confirmation. So to confirm, let's run the other command we just ran earlier, rpm-qa, query all, and let's grep for vsftpd. This time nothing showed up. That means the package does not exist anymore and it has been erased. And the next example is to verify all or one RPM package exists. This command is pretty similar to the command rpm-qa, but you run it with rpm-va. It verifies if a particular package is installed. So if you grep for something, for example ssh, and run this command, it will check all your system and it will look for that package and verify it. Usually in most cases I've seen this command taking too long, so you can also run it with qa and it will give you pretty much the same information. So again, there's many ways to do the same thing. Let's move on to the next examples. So next one we'll do is we'll check how to get information about an RPM package. So let's run the rpm command again, and this time we'll use -qi. So q is for query and I is for information. So we're trying to find information about a particular package. In this case, let's find information on NTP. So once it finds information on NTP, it will tell you exactly what that is. It'll tell you the vendor, the network time protocol, it's telling you what NTP is, and a lot more information regarding that particular package. So that's how you can get information about an RPM package. Next, we will find the location where files were copied when you install a particular package. So let's run rpm-ql and the package name. So -ql, q is for query and l is for location. So if you hit enter, it'll give us all the places where this RPM had the files copied. So for example, if we wanted to get more information about this particular file, which is /var/lib/ntp, we can run the next command, so which tells us where this file came from. So we will run rpm -qf and we will type in this location, var lib ntp. So basically what this command is doing, actually I typed in a D, it's a Q. So we're doing a query for file, which RPM package this file came from. So if I hit enter, it will tell us that it came from this particular package. So as you can see, you can get a lot of information by running RPM command and using different options. Let's move on to the last example. So last example is if you wanted to install an RPM directly from a particular website. You can run rpm -ivh, or you can do uvh. It will also install it, but if there's an upgrade available, it will also upgrade it. So for example, whatever the URL that you have, you will type it in here. For example, your URL is google.com, and whatever comes in after that. So you type it in, and then in the end it'll probably say .rpm, and then once you hit enter, it will try to connect to that particular website and start to install that particular package. I don't have an exact link to install anything, but I just wanted to show you the example that it can be done, and that's how you can do it. I hope you learned something useful in this lecture as well, and I'll see you in the next one.